Hey friends, Ari here. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you guys are doing well. Today I wanted to share with you my thoughts on what makes Nirvana's Come As You Are an impactful song. When I say impactful, what I mean is that when a song hits us somewhere deep inside and becomes more meaningful than just merely an entertainment. It's my passion to figure out what makes the music that way. And so when I'm analyzing other people's songs, I'm looking at it from that perspective. So this is probably, I'm guessing here, it's probably the second most well-known song by Nirvana. It features this iconic guitar slash bass riff. And it's fairly simple in terms of the construction, but yet when I look at the song, I can see how, again, Kurt Cobain is just such a master songwriter, and just the song is really put together in a concise and succinct and simple way to create a great alternative rock anthem with a lot of tension and angst built into the song. So I wanted to share with you some of my observations. So let's start with this iconic riff. I have my guitar tuned to standard tuning. The recording that is in whole step down, and then he plays live often with half step down. So my guitar isn't quite in the same key as the recording. So, but the guitar parts go more or less kind of like this. So the song is in the key in the standard tuning of F sharp minor. So when you start from the E, that's a flat seventh, and you're going right. So da 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 da. And, it has a passing note of the F natural, and then going up to F sharp. And in the key of F sharp minor, E would be what we call flat sevenths, and then flat sevenths is what I call like a defiant chord. If you go right, so that has a very much rock and roll kind of attitude. It's a chord that wants to resolve to the main chord of the key, which is the F sharp minor, but it's not as smooth that's going from like 5-1. Something like that, right? It just has a lot more to it, and that's why I call it a defiant chord. And but this half step move creates kind of an ominous mood, right? And then the other thing I want to highlight is this first interval after that. So that's an A in the key of F sharp minor. So that's the sad note in the minor chord, the minor third. And when you define it in, right off the bat, again, that adds to the really sad and ominous kind of mood to it. And he starts out by saying, come as you are, right? I mean, that sounds like a very positive message, but lyrics and the music together creates this conflicting mixed message, which is very intentional in the song. And you can see that the words is telling me something, but the music telling me something else, and that angst is built into this harmony here. Oh, the other thought that I would point out is this minor third interval is a very, very important one in this song. There are two other occasions where this come up, kind of creating like the central sort of interval harmony of the song. And so let's see where else it pops up there. Well, the second point I would make is when you look at how the melody and the lyrics are put together, I was really struck by how natural the words fit, how naturally the words fit the melody. And in that, in a lot of the music where the music is written first, and when you try to write words to go with it, sometimes the natural rhythm and emphasis of the language is getting lost, and it can kind of sound unnatural, which is not a bad thing. It's just you just want to know that that's happening when you match the lyrics and the melody, and can create a awkwardness which can't serve the music. But in this song's case, it achieves a great balance of having a really nice melody, but at the same time the words fit the melody perfectly. So I'll play I'll sing a little bit of this. I can't play that main riff and sing at the same time, so bear with me, but it goes like this. Come as you are, as you are, as I want to be, as a friend, as a friend, as a non-enemy. Right? And then compare that to, like, if I were to just read the lyrics, it goes like this. Come as you are, as you were, as I want you to be, as a friend, as a friend, as a known enemy. Right? So notice how the spoken and the melody really gives you the same kind of feel to it. The natural rhythm and emphasis, come, and then there's a little break and they say as you are, right? It just really falls very well together. When I look at melodies in songs with words, I typically classify them as tuneful or untuneful melodies. I mean, of course, it's a spectrum, so it's not either or thing, but tuneful melodies, the melodies are interesting on their own, so you are taken in by the melody but less with words, whereas untuneful melodies, they are less interesting on their own as melodies, but because of that, it brings out the words to the forefront of your attention. Now this is a rare case where we have a clearly tuneful melody, but the melodies and the words match so well that the meaning of the words are brought to your attention as well. And I would consider that virtuoso songwriting. It's not actually this easy. If you're just if you're the kind of person who write melodies first, then it's often really hard to find words that really fit the melody that well. And if you are writing the words first person, it's really hard to write melodies that honor the words and make it seem natural, but as a melody it's also interesting as well. So yeah, I think Kurt Cobain really knows what he's doing here, and this is very rare. So after the verse part, which goes back and forth essentially between F sharp minor and E, the next section, which I might call it a chorus or I might call it a pre-chorus, it goes between F sharp. It's kind of a power chord really, with B on top, to A. And notice the distance between F sharp and A there. It's a minor third. F sharp to A there. So that really sounds like it's a natural extension of the previous section, and it sounds really cohesive, right? And then from there, the real chorus part is between B and D. Again, notice the distance there, right? It's a minor third. So in the main verse riff there is a minor third. It's a very important interval there. And in the pre-chorus there's a minor third. And in the chorus there's a minor third. So the whole song is made up of basically the same harmony and same sound, but he does change basically the chords there. You could even say that it changes key, whereas the verse and the pre-chorus are in F sharp minor, and then it goes to the key of B. Although it's just only two chords, so it's a stretch to say whether that's still same key or not. But the whole song sounds really cohesive because he just has the same harmony throughout and has a very sort of a same kind of focused mood to it. Now, even though the song has the same kind of harmony throughout, but it's also at the same time managed to sound really dramatic, that's because he changes up how the different sections sound based on the groove or the rhythm, right? So if, from the fairly static verse part, or more laid back, I would say, to the pre-chorus part, to the full-on rocking chorus part. Right? So going from more laid back to building tension to full-on rocking in different sections, and especially if you listen to Dave Grohl's drum part, I mean, it's really obvious where the sort of the climax of the song is, right? In my songwriting analysis, I've always said, if you want to make a song listenable, it's one of the best practice to make different sections of the song clearly delineated so you can tell that you entered a different section. And one of the ways to do that the most common ways to do that is through harmony or the chord progression, but a really big component of that is the groove or the rhythm, right? Different sections have different groove or different rhythm. It's really easy to tell that, oh yeah, I'm in pre-chorus now and I'm in chorus now. And then finally, one more thing I would say about is between the pre-chorus part and the main chorus part, I mean, there are both strong sort of a hook to it and refrains, repetitive in good way, right? A song feels richer when there's more than one refrains or more than one chorus type sections. It just feels like you're getting a full course meal instead of just like a one course meal. And just the moment when we get into that full chorus from the pre-chorus part, right, and the song just takes off and starts pounding, and I think it's just it's a great moment, and it just really rocks hard and makes me really get into the song. So that is another sort of a generous way of writing songs, is instead of saying, oh yeah, we have one chorus here, no. If you can add different choruses to a song, do it, because it just makes the song that much stronger. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share or subscribe, and if you want to take even a step further, I will really love it if you can listen to my original music and or become my Patreon. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.